I absolutely love potato salads. There's something so wholesome yet comforting and summery about them. And today we're gonna be making 3 different versions. One is crunchy and creamy, the other is featuring a homemade herby pesto, and the final one is zesty and summery. You're gonna love them, so let's dive right into it. First up, our spin on the viral smashed potato salad, and trust me, it's viral for good reason. We're gonna start with heavily salting a pot of cold water. Salted water is key here because it helps to season the potatoes from the inside out, making them a lot more flavorful. Then we're gonna toss a heap of baby potatoes into the pot. Did you see that? That just totally drenched me. Bring everything to a boil and then let these cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. While they cook, we're gonna add some olive oil to a small bowl, along with some ground cumin, onion powder, paprika powder, and salt. Then give it all a good mix. Once the potatoes are done cooking, we'll drain them and then pat them dry. Now for the fun part. We're gonna place the potatoes on a lined baking tray and flatten them. When you're smashing the potatoes using a cup, sometimes they can get stuck to the bottom of the cup. So what I like to do is use a little piece of parchment paper underneath it. Just makes the whole process a lot less messy. Super satisfying, right? Now we're gonna brush the spiced oil over the smashed potatoes, saving some of the oil for later, and then we're gonna bake these beauties in the oven at 430 Fahrenheit or 220 Celsius for about 20 minutes. Then we're gonna flip them, brush them with the remaining oil, and bake for another 20 to 30 minutes or until they're golden and crispy. While those bake, let's whip up a delicious and creamy dressing. Grab a large bowl and add to it some unsweetened soy yogurt, some vegan mayo, fresh lemon juice, some crushed garlic, Dijon mustard, agave syrup or maple syrup, and a little sprinkle of salt. And give it all a good mix. Next, we're gonna prep the veggies. We'll chop up some cucumber, mince a little bit of red onion, chop up some fresh parsley, and some fresh dill. We can add this to the dressing, give it all a good mix, and set it aside. That's crunchy. And then when your potatoes are baked and cool enough to handle, we're gonna crush them into the salad, give everything a good toss, and there you have it, your new favorite potato salad. It's crunchy, it's creamy, and absolutely heavenly. The highlight of this next potato salad is our zesty homemade pesto. So we're gonna start with quartering some colorful baby potatoes, adding them to a baking tray, along with some cooked butter beans. We're gonna drizzle over some olive oil and sprinkle over some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. Then we can toss everything to coat. You can keep the potatoes on one baking tray here if you'd like to. Personally, I'm gonna transfer it over 2 baking trays because I find that it helps the potatoes and beans crisp up a little bit more in the oven rather than only steaming. Now we can pop these trays into the oven to bake at 430 Fahrenheit or 220 Celsius until the potatoes are fully cooked through. All right, while that bakes, we're gonna make our own homemade pesto. We'll start with measuring out half of a cup of raw walnuts, adding it to a small pan, along with half of a cup of raw pine nuts, and then just toast this until it's lightly golden. You can use pre-roasted nuts here if you want to speed things along, but I usually find that freshly toasted nuts are a lot more flavorful. Now once these have cooled off a bit, we'll transfer them to a food processor. And next we'll zest 2 lemons, setting the zest aside for later. We'll now juice the lemons into the food processor. Then we can add in a handful of fresh basil, a couple of handfuls of fresh arugula, some extra virgin olive oil, nutritional yeast for a bit of cheesiness, some garlic cloves, and salt. Then we're gonna pop the lid onto it, blitz it up until the mixture is finely chopped. It should look something like this. Next, we're gonna prep some veggies. You can add any veggies that you love, that you enjoy, or that you just need to use up that are in the fridge. Personally, I'm gonna add some thinly sliced green onions. I'll very thinly slice up some baby radishes too. I'll have some cherry tomatoes, and my personal favorite, chopping up some sun-dried tomatoes. When the potatoes are baked, let them cool off just a little bit, then add them to a bowl with the pesto. You can add in the chopped veggies as well, and the reserved lemon zest. When you're ready to enjoy it, add in some more arugula, give everything a toss, garnish as desired, and there it is. A potato pesto salad that's sure to impress. It's fresh, flavorful, absolutely gorgeous. For the next recipe, we're whipping up a tangy potato salad that's super fresh and summery. We'll start first with cutting in half a bunch of baby potatoes. We'll heavily salt a large pot of water, add the potatoes to the pot, and bring everything to a boil. All right, while the potatoes cook, let's make the dressing. To a large bowl, we're gonna add in some extra virgin olive oil, red wine vinegar, a little bit of harissa sauce. This is a milder, saucier form of harissa paste that just adds a gentle heat. We're gonna add a touch of sticky pomegranate molasses, some maple syrup, and here we've got some ground turmeric, ground cumin, sumac, and a bit of salt. We'll add it to the bowl and then just mix everything together. All right, next, we're gonna prep our veggies. Some chopped cucumber, minced red onion, some chopped dried apricots, chopped fresh dill, and chopped fresh parsley, and finally, some minced preserved lemon slices. So preserved lemons, these just give a very unique salty tang, but if you can't find them, you can use some lemon zest instead. When the potatoes can be easily pierced with a fork, we'll drain them, let them cool off for a little bit, and then add them to the bowl. Add in all of the prepped veggies and mix everything together. At the very end, for some crunch, you can finish it off with some chopped roasted pistachios, and I like to add some more herbs for garnish. And this zesty, tangy salad is ready to dig into. The full breakdown to all the recipes you can find with the links that are in the description box below. And if you're on the hunt for even more delicious summery recipes, check out our Pick Up Limes app. You can snatch a 7-day free trial by scanning this QR code right here, or I'll leave a link for you below. Thanks so much for hanging with me today, friends. I really appreciate it. Pick Up Limes signing off, and I'll see you in the next video. Potato, potato, diddly-dee, potato. But if you use a little piece of parchment paper and use that to smash, then it's a lot more of a breeze. It's terrible. Whee! Be free. Because this is gonna help to crisp up the beans and the... All right, so while that bakes. All right, while that makes, we're gonna, This time I'm saying makes? All right, while that bakes, we're gonna make our own homemade pesto, starting out with half of a cups?